I found this quote the other day by Mo Situb Tim, the founder of the Happiness Planner. There are many ways to live life. There is no right or wrong. However, some of us believe in living a life full of passion, a life where you never feel bored, stagnant, or stuck, a life where you're constantly excited and inspired.
DelicateBeats.com.
In an article he wrote for the Huffington Post, he details 7 rules to live by for those who want to live with passion. Rule number 1, you already know this one. Find what your passion is. If you're watching this video, your passion is to produce music, right? Rule number 2. Rule number 2 is where we separate the doers from the dabblers. Get obsessed with your passion. I guess you could say I was lucky. I was born with what some might call a defect. Hyperactivity with an attention disorder and hyperfocus. That means I'll struggle to listen to someone for 30 seconds, but I can effortlessly work on music for 6 to 8 hours without taking a lunch break. Go figure. It's not enough to like something, be good at it, and do it every other day of the week. Living a life of passion requires you to invest yourself wholeheartedly in your craft. The reward for me is when time starts to speed up, when you feel like you never have enough time to spend on this passion. That's when you know you just were in the zone. It's also called the flow state. Look it up. According to Wikipedia, this is when you're in a mental state of operation in which you're performing an activity while being fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement, and enjoyment in the process of the activity. The key word for me is enjoyment. The more you chip away at it, the more you enjoy it. Rule number 3 is to stay open-minded and curious. In my book, The Bedroom Super Producer, I talk about the importance of self-teaching. Your need to improve your skills to live a more passionate life will require you to learn on your own every day. And for that to happen, you will need to stay open-minded and curious. But how do you achieve that? I think we all fight some form of resistance. We all have this fear of being great. I know it sounds silly, right? Why would one be afraid of being great? No one said it better than Marianne Williamson in her poem, Let Your Light Shine. I'm gonna give you the Coach Carter version. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own lights shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Learning is liberating. Rule number 4, be spontaneous. I'll relate this one to my story of choosing Plan B. You see, before becoming a full-time music composer, I studied and worked as a graphic designer for many years. I earned a comfortable living, but there was nothing spontaneous about my routine. Get up, shower, get dressed, cash a check, party on the weekend, and repeat. I think the correct term is soul-sucking. My new life is super spontaneous. My newfound freedom allows me to do something new and exciting every day. I jump on a plane when I want to, I start a new business when I get a new idea, and I'm never afraid to say yes. And like DJ Khaled said, take the hinges off and put them in the fuckboy's hands. God, I love this guy. Rule number 5, love fully and deeply. The moment my lack of passion in my life really hit me is when my wife left me. I can't blame her. There was nothing left to be loved. I had become an aggressive recluse. One piece of advice she gave me in the end really stuck with me. It was one thing to not give her time, but it was another to not give time to my best friends. Who does that? Everything changed when I started to live a life full of passion. I talk to people now, at the grocery store, at the coffee shop, on the phone, in Messenger. I share myself with the people I love. And guess what? I get it back 100 times over. This is a process. First, you have to choose you. Then you have to make a plan. Then, incrementally, you let your light shine through. And when you really do that, people will start to gravitate towards you. Rule number 6, be inspiring. The most gratifying thing in my life is when people ask me, what do I do for a living? Me, I sell music online. Her or him, wow, that's so cool. And you make enough money? Me, more than enough. Her or him, wow, I didn't even know this existed. And then their eyes light up. It's the best feeling. Not because it makes me feel good about myself, but because for a moment there, you see them imagine what their life would be like if they did something similar to me. If something similar happened in their lives. Now that's inspiring. Finally, rule number 7, travel. My favorite quote from the movie Scarface is from the character Frank Lopez. He says, and then you're going to find out your biggest problem is not bringing in the stuff. It's what to do with all the fucking cash. You might be thinking, well, I know exactly what I would do with all this freedom and money. Yes, you would probably get some nice toys, but the pleasure of material things runs out fast. I'll always remember a conversation I had with my brother while running on a treadmill. He said, I was listening to this psychology podcast the other day, and they said that one should invest in experiences. This is the best way to get a return on your investment. My mind was blown. Traveling had actually always been one of my greatest fears. I think I got this from my mom. You always postpone a trip because of questions like, what if I end up in the middle of nowhere and can't speak their language? What if they don't want me to be there? All irrational fears. About 2 or 3 years ago, I started to buy random plane tickets. Now I travel 2 or 3 times a year. And you know what? None of my fears came true. It's absolutely worth it.